Once again, I'd like to talk about women's self-defense. The first thing I like to go over is to differentiate between what seems like is the same situation. So I'm going to talk about a rape situation, but I'm going to bring up two examples, and I'd like to differentiate between them, that even though they're both the same situation, it's one is more extreme than the other. So let's say, you were smart enough to go to, let's say, like a family party, and you didn't go to like a wild, crazy party. So you just went to a family party, nothing wrong with that, right? And there was a neighbor there, that you grew up with. So this guy that you're kind of familiar with is there, and, it's been a while or something, so you guys are talking together and reminiscing together and rekindling the friendship. So, let's say you invite him over to your room and you're like, hey, remember this toy, remember that, and you're talking to the guy, whatever, and there's a huge miscommunication, okay? This guy thinks you're really interested, and he starts to get aggressive with you. He just thinks that you're playing a little bit hard to get, or you're just shy or something. And, so we're going into rape territory here, okay? Now, to me, that situation is very different from, let's say, you're living alone in your apartment, and some dude that you have no idea who this person is breaks into your apartment, like shatters the window or whatever, or, unlocked your door, was waiting in the closet or whatever. This person walks in, okay, breaks in, and starts to rape you. Okay, to me, those are two totally different situations here. Okay, so in the first situation where this guy that you thought you knew, you assumed, but you assumed wrong, and there was miscommunication. So those are two huge problems right there, right? With miscommunication and wrong assumptions, that already creates plenty of probability for this kind of thing to happen, okay? So in this situation here, let's say you poked his eye at this point to defend yourself, to try to get this guy to stop. If you poked his eye in this situation, maybe that might be enough for him to realize, hey, what am I doing here? This was really uncalled for. Man, what am I doing? I totally messed up. She really doesn't want this. Maybe that's enough. Hopefully it is. They say most rape situations occur where the victim knows the attacker, unfortunately, or it's in this unpleasant situation. So, that may be enough, like I said. What I don't like about it is that you kind of have to rely on the other person, to wake up. You have to rely on the other person to figure out, hey, I'm doing wrong here, So, in this situation, an eye poke may be enough. In the second situation, where the guy is trying to rape you, where he broke into your house, it was premeditated, and this guy's attacking you, right? If you eye gouge the person here, like you poke him in the eye, I'm pretty sure it's just going to make him more angry, and now they're going to be even more committed, probably, or you're going to remind them of their commitment. So it would be a very bad thing to do. I've been in a situation where I was on the floor ground fighting against the guy, and this guy poked me in the eye. Once that happened, I got very angry, and I thought, now you're going to be dead. That's all it did to me. He poked me in the eye. I had to move my head and then recover. And then I thought, you're really going to pay for this, and that you're going to be dead. So anyway, that's my opinion about poking someone in the eye. How would I poke someone in the eye? Well, if I were to do it, I would grab someone's head, pin it against the floor, use my bicep, to crush their face and pin it, and then I would probably put my thumb into the eye into the eye socket right by the bridge of the nose, and I would go to scoop out his eyeball, and I would try to scoop it out to make it pop out. I would be smashing it and trying to pop it out. If not, I would put my fingernails into underneath the eyelid, and I would scrape it as fast as I can, trying to really literally scrape the eyeball. So in other words, to do damage, you have to be that much committed. You have to be fully committed. If you just poke someone in the eye, it's not a committed attack. If you don't do damage, it's just going to get the person more angry in this kind of extreme situation, right? In a not so extreme situation, like I said, it may be enough. Or all you need to do is distract, create a diversion, and then run away. Then maybe in that case you don't even need to hit the eye. If you just throw something close to the eye, like you flick your fingers near the eye, it might be enough for them to blink and for you to pick up something heavier, hit them in the head, or just run, you know. So in those kinds of situations, sure. But if you're already in close quarters combat with the attacker, and you are going to attack them, it needs to be fully committed. And I really don't think the average person can do something like scoop out the other person's eyeball, or, you know, scratch their retina or something like that. I don't think the average person can do it. That's why I say you need to become a warrior. It's very extreme. The only people that can do it is probably you need to have like a warrior attitude, or either you're like a serial killer or a homicidal maniac, a sadistic, sick person, you know. And it's almost like there's a fine line between a warrior and like a homicidal maniac. The only real difference is what you're fighting for. One person is fighting to protect themselves, their family, their loved ones, you know, the body is the temple, this kind of thing. They'll do anything they can to protect that. Or the other person is just sick and enjoys it, you know. But the result, you know, you need to be that much committed and that much extreme, in my opinion.